Conan the Barbarian smashes record sales at San Diego Comic-Con. The Conan fans seem very excited, so this seems like a good time to be a Conan fan. Let's talk about it. And let's talk about this Savage Sword of Conan that is coming as well. Hit it. Hello and welcome to World of Conan, and today we're talking about Conan the Barbarian comic book smashing record sales at San Diego Comic-Con. So this is fantastic news and just awesome to see the whole fandom coming out in droves and really supporting this relaunch of the Conan IP. Also, the great Savage Sword of Conan is coming back, as we already said in another video, and in black and white, in magazine format, as in the old days that people have been asking for. So this is doubly fantastic news that is coming out in recent days. So let's check out this article and let's talk about it a bit. So Conan the Barbarian sets all-time record. A Savage Sword spin-off announced. Conan the Barbarian has set an all-time sales record for Titan Comics, just in time for the launch of his second title, Savage Sword of Conan, that many people are waiting for, and frankly a lot of people held it to be the pinnacle of Conan comic books in the 70s. It's of course the debate which one was better, and many held the position that the Savage Sword was the better one. The black and white art popped more and was maybe more in the pulp feel, and it was more savage, and as the title says, and yeah, like more brutal, more in vein of Robert E. Howard, whereas the main, if you can say the main line, Conan the Barbarian, was more Marvel-like. But both of them has fantastic points, but I guess I will kind of have to agree that the Savage Sword is quite probably is pretty much the pinnacle in that sense. But anyway, Conan the Barbarian has set an all-time sales record just in time for the premiere of Savage Sword of Conan. Awesome news. Titan Books, best known for the line of Doctor Who comics, acquired the rights to produce comic books based on Conan last year. The publisher has hit the ground running, launching not only a flagship Conan title, but resurrecting Savage Sword of Conan in its original format. That's really awesome. Not many probably would do that. Marvel certainly didn't. And if that was not enough, the form book has hit a sales record. So Titan Books unveiled more information about the forthcoming titles at San Diego Comic-Con. Titan's Conan the Barbarian will be written by Jim Zub, this we already knew, drawn by Roberto de la Torre, fantastic artist, following Zub chronicling Conan's adventures over at Marvel. In addition to the regular Conan the Barbarian title, Titan has announced spin-off titled Savage Sword of Conan. Savage Sword, unlike its companion book, will be magazine-sized, featuring stories in black and white, and will feature what Titan describes as a murderer's row of artists, including Howard Chaykin, Patch Searcher, John Arcudi, and Richard Pace. Finally, Titan announced that Conan the Barbarian, the first printing, was the publisher's biggest book to date, which confirmed with confirmed sales over 80,000. In addition, Titan has already commissioned a second printing, and a third printing is a possibility. These multiple printings will push Conan the Barbarian's print run over 100,000, making it one of the best-selling titles of the decade. Guys, this is fantastic news. Just awesome just a hand clap to all the Conan fans coming out and buying the new Conan, and really the interest and support and like the excitement that seems to be really happening right now in the Conan fandom, the IP, because of the new books, the novels and all that stuff, and also now the comic books and all the stuff that is being planned, games and all that. So it's really like it's gaining momentum, definitely. So this is just great news, and yeah. Breaking, Titan and Hero Signature are excited to reveal the long-awaited return of Savage Sword of Conan in 2024 with a new all-gritty gruesome tales from the world of Conan the Barbarian in its original black and white magazine format. So that is huge. A lot of people has been asking for that. Titan's new line of Conan comics is the latest chapter in the Cimmerian's long history. Conan's creator Robert E. Howard wrote for the classic pulp magazines of his day and created Conan in 1932. The character became popular with fans, and after Howard's untimely death at the age of 30, other writers picked up the thread and continued the character's adventures in the early 1970s. Marvel licensed the rights to produce comics based on Conan. The book was a hit and inaugurated a line of titles, including the black and white Savage Sword of Conan, legendary title, sold as a magazine to help skirt the oppressive Comics Code Authority. Interesting. Savage Sword featured more adult-oriented storylines, keeping it more in line with Howard's original vision. Here we have a tweet by Patch Searcher saying that he's in stellar company with all his artists that are coming to the Savage Sword of Conan. Cool stuff. And now this groundbreaking publication has returned in its original form. Fans fondly remember the classic Savage Sword of Conan, and Titan editor Mike Murray revealed that many have asked for its return. Yeah, I didn't even think like it was a possibility to bring that back, like the magazine format in black and white. I mean, obviously it's possible, but you know, a lot of comics publishers wouldn't even really consider it. For whatever reason, because comic sales overall has gone down so much, so they probably would have thought it a niche style, and that fans maybe don't really want or would embrace it that much anymore. I mean, the last Savage Sword of Conan in 2019, I think it was, by Marvel, was just the same as the mainline title, color comic book, just with the title Savage Sword of Conan. So it wasn't really that much difference. But this is fantastic, like really fantastic. I can't wait for the black and white one. Yeah, well, here it says, when Marvel really acquired the Conan in 2019, they did relaunch Savage Sword, but as a regular-sized color comic book. Yeah, fans had been clamoring for a return to its classic format, and now Titan has given them their wish. The original Savage Sword featured some of the top artists of the day, including Barry Windsor Smith, legend, and John Buscema, legend. And the new incarnation will keep that tradition alive, with Patch Searcher confirming a huge array of talent on Twitter. Jim Sub likewise celebrated the move, revealing that fans at San Diego Comic-Con were raving about the new series. The number of old school readers who stopped by my table at San Diego Comic-Con to tell me how excited they were for the Conan relaunch was inspiring. Building on that momentum with Big Bold Black and White in 2024 is going to be a blast. Great stuff. Titan has generated a great deal of excitement over its new line of Conan the Barbarian books. The first issue of the flagship title will become one of the best-selling comics of the decade. That's pretty huge. Showing the fan interest in this book is at an all-time high. Titan will also honor the classic Conan comics by continuing to reprint them in gorgeous new edition, with Savage Sword of Conan returns to classic form. Yeah, Titan's sale is and the regular book breaking title. So yeah, that was great. Yeah, quite a lot of repeats in this article. Anyway, that best-selling comic thing, I guess that also depends on the numbers, what they've sold to stores, because they sell in bulk. But anyway, either way, this is fantastic news. Really good stuff. So that's definitely awesome news. We also had an article on the Bounding into Comics website with pretty much the same things told. Here we get to see some images that we didn't see in the other article. So that's a fantastic, obviously the first issue cover by Dan Panosian. Titan Publishing Director Rick Clayton Selberg, we are so thrilled with the numbers on issue 1. Our staff and partners at Heroic Signatures worked extremely hard to make the best Conan comic ever, and I think we have achieved that. He added Jim Subs and Roberto de la Torre's creation is barbarically perfect. This masterpiece combined with the unbelievable support of our distribution, Diamond Comics, and retail partners made this launch a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us. Well, there he kind of tells with the distributors that you know, to the shops. If people know about nowadays kind of how the comic sales go, that can be, you know, skew numbers, but that doesn't matter. It's still great stuff, great news. Here we get to see some great shots from the comic. Fantastic art from Roberto del Toro once again. Like really can't say enough good stuff about it. Like really brings that John Buscema to a T with its own touch and that modern flair to it, and just a great choice, great artist. Here we got, yeah, I think we in another video already talked about this, of why they chose Titan Comics, about the comics code and all that stuff. But yeah, and Fredrik Malmberg said we have entered the year before into agreement where we will be publishing new Conan novels, books, short story, ebooks through Titan for the English language, and so it was actually very quick, this discussion with them, where we needed to sort out the financial details, but they really really wanted to come in heavily in our publishing plan, so we made an agreement with them very quickly. More great art here, fantastic shot there. Really like this panel here and this one. Yeah, Conan really pops out. Yeah, really gives that like 70s vibe. Really the John Buscema vibe in a really good way. Sub explaining the kind of story they're doing. We talked about that also in another verse. I'm not going to reiterate all this stuff. Yeah, more great art. Yeah, more of this fantastic art. But yeah, yeah, here's got a cover. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this article, guys. What do you think? Are you excited for the Savage Sword of Conan in black and white? There was one thing I wanted to say here. There was the new logo for Savage Sword of Conan. At least for now, they might change it later on. For me, I'm not that. It doesn't really, as of yet, it doesn't pop. The logos have been a bit of a problem for me in this Titan iteration. They're a bit bland, or quite a lot bland. So I would say make fantastic logos that really pop, as you had logos for comic books in the 90s, for example, and earlier. Make them really pop, because these are pretty plain, unfortunately, and they don't really you know, jump out. So but yeah, it's pretty much it. So what do you guys think? You excited for the Savage Sword of Conan, and you're probably getting the Conan the Barbarian, the first issue, obviously, if you haven't already. So great time to be a Conan fan. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's get to reading some Conan. Hail Conan!